All right, it's time to go over the Los Angeles Rams and try to dissect this entire roster to see who would be more fantasy relevant for 2024. Let's go ahead and pull up here on the depth chart here. We see the quarterbacks here, Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett. Now, Matthew Stafford's the only one you really have to worry about. We're already seeing what Stetson Bennett's doing in the preseason, and it's just not looking good. He just had a 4 interception game in week 1 of the preseason. He's just not fantasy viable whatsoever. But Matthew Stafford can get it done. He's been getting it done for a long period of time. Will this be the last year? Will this be the last ride that Matthew Stafford tries to get it done? We don't know, but Matthew Stafford overall can get he can get it all done. He can get the fantasy football job done, right? So he's got a plethora of weapons out there that he can throw the football to make sure if you're looking for a mid-tier type of quarterback, this is somebody that you can add to your team and just know that you're going to get some type of fantasy football floor. That way you may not have to reach over there for the Josh Allens and the Jalen Hurts, etc., etc. You can go ahead and load up on your skill positions, grab somebody like maybe Matthew Stafford later on down the line. Hopefully you can tag him up with either a Puka Nacua or a Cooper Kupp, something like that. And I think that you can win fantasy football with a quarterback like Matthew Stafford. He's able to do it year in and year out, give you some type of production that helps you win your football games. Now, again, he's not going to wow you with, gaudy stats. He gets you no rushing ability whatsoever, pretty much. He's all throwing the football, but he's got the weapons to get the job done. So I do like Matthew Stafford and what he can deliver for you on this offense. So let's break down the running backs here. Look at the depth chart here. Number 1, we have Kyren Williams, who really came on last season. Blake Corum, the new rookie out of Michigan, with Ronnie Rivers and Zach Evans as that. Now, I am one of those guys, and I'm probably in the minority here, who thinks that Blake Corum will actually eat into Kyren Williams' workload quite a bit. Last season, we saw Kyren Williams really tear it up. He was almost unstoppable. They were giving this guy the football, and he was making the most of it, running for big chunk yardage, really getting all the bulk of the carries. There was nobody else in this backfield that was taking any type of touches away from Kyren Williams, and we saw that in the fantasy football numbers as he was able to produce some solid fantasy outings for you and help you win a championship. Most of the time, Kyren Williams was either undrafted, you picked him up for free agency, or a last round pick, and he ended up paying massive dividends for you later on down the line, where he was able to give you really big games, right, to help you win those games. So Kyren Williams is somebody that I think that they're going to try to reel back just a little bit. There's no way that he can keep up the workload that he had in 2023. Here comes Blake Corum, one of the best running backs I've seen in college football as far as his vision goes, his cutback ability. Everything was so solid when you watch Blake Corum play football, and I think he's going to come in here. He's going to take away some of the carries from Kyren Williams. It is what it is. I'm trying to call a spade a spade. People are drafting Kyren Williams as if he is going to be that bell cow back like he was in 2023, and I just don't see it. I think it's going to be more of a workload, maybe, I don't know, maybe most of it, 80% could be Kyren Williams instead of 95%, maybe 20 to 25% be Blake Corum, but it's going to be just enough to where you can't say that Kyren Williams is in that top echelon of running backs. He doesn't belong up there with the Breece Halls, the Bijan Robinsons, the Jahmyr Gibbs, all these guys, Derrick Henrys. I think he's under all of that, and I just think that's how it's going to play out, and you guys can see my rankings. I got a rankings video coming out very shortly that you can kind of see where I rank Kyren Williams among the other running backs, right? So let's look at these wide receivers now and pull up the depth chart here. I have number one wide receiver is Cooper Kupp, in my opinion. Puka Nacua here, Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell, and the rookie Jordan Whittington, who's actually been showing out really good in preseason so far, among some other names. Now, the people we really have to worry about here is Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Now, Puka had one of the best rookie wide receiver seasons you can possibly have. There's going to be regression. I'm sorry to tell you guys, there was a lot of injuries with Cooper Kupp, and if he can stay healthy, Puka Nacua is not going to have a return and repeat of what he did last season. Unfortunately, he's being drafted right now as if he's going to repeat the same exact season he had last season. I'm sorry to tell you guys, that's not going to happen. Cooper Kupp's going to regain this number 1 wide receiver in this offense. Puka Nacua is going to have to take a step back. It is what it is. I mean, the veteran Cooper Kupp is a great wide receiver. And Matthew Stafford has that confidence in Cooper Kupp to make this work. So Puka Nacua, I still think Garrett Wilson should be drafted above Puka Nacua. I did a video not too long ago where people were flaming me in the comments because I had Garrett Wilson over Puka Nacua. I like Puka. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he should be drafted the way he is drafted right now, because he's not going to repeat what he did last season, right? And we got to have Jordan Whittington. At this point, after seeing what he's doing in the preseason so far, you've got to put him on the radar. Whittington has the opportunity to be in 3 wide receiver sets and to jump Demarcus Robinson as of right now. He was showing a lot of promise a lot of promise in preseason so far. I'm liking what I see. So Jordan Whittington should definitely be on your radar, and especially if you have somebody maybe a dynasty league. Grab Whittington, put him on your bench, and see what happens, right? So let's pull up the depth chart. Let's look at the tight ends here. As you see, number one tight end right now would be anywhere between Tyler Higbee and Colby Parkinson. Now, Higbee's going to probably miss some time, so Colby Parkinson really will be the starter for this offense. So if you're looking for a tight end for the Rams, I would probably put Colby Parkinson there as of right now for my number one guy. I just don't think by the time Tyler Higbee gets back and on the field, I just don't think he's going to be able to retain that number one job. But whether it goes, the only time I would actually take Colby Parkinson would be is if you have a Matthew Stafford, you want some correlation there. If you don't have Matthew Stafford, I would probably stay away from the tight end position. It's really not a heavily targeted position for Matthew Stafford. You need to really worry about this wide receiver position, whether it's Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua, and possibly Jordan Whittington down on the side. So let's just break down this entire roster and see what we would take. So Matthew Stafford, if you're going mid-round quarterback, he's one of my favorite mid-round quarterbacks that I would be able to take. I really wouldn't worry about, taking him much higher up there in the upper echelon type of quarterbacks. But again, like you said, if you're punting, right, Matthew Stafford it's a lock, right? You could probably grab a Cooper Kupp in the second or third round, come back with Matthew Stafford, have a nice little correlation right there. And it's a pretty cheap overall type of combo to have, in my opinion, right? So looking at the running back position, Kyron Williams is somebody that I would probably grab. If you're in a deeper league, you think about Blake Corum. If you're in a dynasty league, Blake Corum is definitely on my radar as well. Wide receivers, looking at Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and then Whittington if you're in a dynasty league. And then I would say tight end position, Colby Parkinson would be the guy that I would target only if you have Matthew Stafford there as well. So guys, make sure you guys are smashing the like button. Hit the subscribe button, right? Leave a comment down below. Who is your favorite Ram to draft in 2024? We're pumping out multiple videos each and every week, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.